So stock rights is a general term that encompasses a lot of different types of equity compensation. Things like stock options, restricted stock units. Sometimes we see phantom stock rights or stock appreciation rights. All of those are forms of executive compensation, and all of them can be very complex and very different. There's no format that sort of generally governs those rights, although the Internal Revenue Code does play into it. But every single plan is different. Every award agreement is different. And the difficulty is, in Colorado, vesting is not determinative when you're looking at whether or not a stock right is marital property. So everyone comes into my office and says, I don't have to worry about the stock options. They're not vested yet. So once they vest, we'll already be divorced and it's my separate property. The law in Colorado is very clear that vesting is not determinative. So instead, we have to look to the contract, the plan document, any amendments, any award agreements. Sometimes it's in the employment agreement, sometimes in the severance agreement. We have to look at the contract that provides the benefit and determine whether there's a presently enforceable right. If there's a presently enforceable right, regardless of whether or not the stock right is vested, you've got marital property. Now, getting into what forms a presently enforceable right, it's a very long and involved process, but it really boils down to, are there any circumstances under the plan where the person who's received the award could get the stock right before vesting? Is there a provision that says they can get it if they die or they become disabled during the vesting period? Sometimes there are provisions that say if there's a change in control of the corporation during the vesting period, their vesting will accelerate. Those sorts of provisions that provide that people can get that award before the end of the vesting period will create property in Colorado, and we have to address that. And unfortunately, there's no formula. You have to read those documents and understand what they say in order to determine whether or not there's property right.